long and annoying day. I was looking forward to recording a video tonight, and even if I didn't have any release in Hogwarts Mystery, I decided, you know what, I'll make a Magic Awakened video instead, and that'll be fun. Yes, I did play more of the game, and I'm actually beginning to have fun. I may have judged the game too quickly, and there is no worse feeling in the world than looking forward to recording a Hogwarts Mystery video and finding out there's a damn TLSQ. I was so caught up in the euphoria of playing a fun new Harry Potter game that for a moment it was like I lived in a world where Hogwarts Mystery TLSQs didn't exist. Good morning, what the hell is this? A letter from Hogwarts. Professor McGonagall would like your help preparing next year Hogwarts, except I don't want to go anywhere close to official activities. Can you ensure a new generation of magical children get their invitations and rediscover your first magical... Okay, how is that my responsibility? This TLSQ better be good. I'm in a bad mood and I would like some happy things. I think one of the worst things that Jam City did to this game was making it so that there has to be a TLSQ every month. It is the worst thing they did to this game. I had Professor McGonagall has an announcement to make. I wonder what it is. One year ends, another begins. What adventures will the next school year bring? We won't be here to find out, thank God. I'm not involved in whatever Professor McGonagall planning, and I don't plan to be. For once I agree with Nurula. I wish I could not be either. I don't want to do any more paperwork. I have done enough of that today. And I wasn't even doing 90% of that paperwork. But paperwork is one of those things that just being in the vicinity of paperwork exhausts you. It is one of those things. Welcome students, this is truly a special time. Another year at Hogwarts is nearly over and a new term will soon begin. Before long, Hogwarts acceptance letters will be sent to magical children all over Britain and Ireland. They don't send acceptance letters to Scotland? Isn't the school in Scotland? They have to, I'm pretty sure they do. Those lucky children will join the school as first years just as you once did. It is a bright and memorable day for any young witch or wizard when they receive their invitation to Hogwarts. But nothing lasts forever. For some of you, this may be your final year as a Hogwarts student. Yeah, I'm happy about it actually. The rest of you will continue your magical education in the new term. 1 year older and one hopes Pfizer. 2 weeks ago, I nearly lost my account and I was really panicked because as much as I hate the fact that Hogwarts Mystery is continuing into Beyond Hogwarts instead of just ending like a normal game, I really want to see what Beyond Hogwarts has in store. And not because I think it's going to be good, no. I want to see what it has in store because I'm fairly certain it's going to be a complete train wreck. And I want to make fun of it. For all of you, trust in the knowledge that the friends and memory will last a lot. I can't read. I can't focus. With that in mind, I invite you to cherish memories of the past as you consider the new adventures that await you. Get me out of here. It's the release date for Beyond Hogwarts is set to 27th of July, I think, which is kind of awesome. And stay alert for a special announcement from Professor McGonagall at the end of your meal. I still remember the day I received my Hogwarts acceptance letter. I wonder if I have a screenshot. I don't know if I have a screenshot of the year 1 acceptance letter that you get. You show it to Rowan and that's when you see it. I bet my friends have interesting stories about when they received their letters too. I was sitting on a bench reading a book when my acceptance letter came. Oh my god, I wonder if I can still find the original trailer. The first ever trailer of Hogwarts Mystery does show that an owl is coming to MC when she is just on a bench reading a book. Ooh, you know what? That's a great reference. I like that. It seems that nearly everyone remembers the moment they received their invitation to Hogwarts. I'll say I still remember how excited I was when my letter came. I couldn't wait to get here and start exploring the castle and throwing dung bombs apparently. What were you most looking forward to when you got your Hogwarts acceptance letter, Rai Silvers? Honestly, if you would take the lines from the very beginning of the game at face value, I think the very reason MC wanted to come to Hogwarts was just to look for Jacob. No. No. That was not the only thing I was looking forward to. I was most excited about all the magical spells I was gonna learn. There's nothing quite like learning magic. You don't say. Spell like a lawnmower, for instance. That one's a real game changer. And other spells too, of course. Yeah. That's the beauty of magic. There's always more to learn. And somehow they still couldn't find a cure for Alzheimer's. I'm going to be mad about that. Talking about Hogwarts acceptance letters brings up so many memories. After using magic for the first time, my capacity to cause chaos grew considerably. Children. But then again, if I had never shown any magical talent, I'd never have earned a spot in the Book of Admittance. I learned about this Book of Admittance very recently. You know about the Book of Admittance, right, Sai Solas? Yeah, I actually do. And I found out what it is very recently. I'd never heard of it before. But apparently, the Book of Acceptance is this magical book with this magical quill that writes things. That quill is very lenient, but the book is very strict. about who is accepted at Hogwarts. The minute any child shows even a twinge of magical potential, the quill is set to write its name. But the book closes on the quill if it doesn't think that the kid has enough magical potential to come to Hogwarts. However, eventually if the child shows enough magical potential, the book will open up and the quill writes down the kid's name. So yes, I do know about the Book of Admittance. Very recently I found out about it. It's a magical book that contains names of every student who's ever been invited to Hogwarts. You know your Sorcerer it's quite the mysterious artifact and it's been here since forever. What about the Quill of Acceptance? Do you know what it does? Write names in the book, yeah. The Quill of Acceptance writes names of new Hogwarts students in the Book of Admittance. That's right, together the book and the quill create a match set. And apparently has not been touched since it was placed down in Hogwarts for the first time. They're some of the most mysterious magical artifacts in all of Hogwarts. When a child uses magic for the first time, they earn a spot in the Book of Admittance. And everyone whose name is written in the Book of Admittance gets an invitation to Hogwarts. That means everyone here must have performed magic as a child in order to get a spot in the book. And which means the Hogwarts Legacy MC did not even perform the slightest twinge of magic until they were 15. And it was only after that the Book of Admittance wrote their name down. And it was only after that when the Hogwarts brothers must have looked into that new name, they found out that, oh my god, this child is performing magic at 15 years old. They're late bloomer, we have to bring them in immediately. Exactly, Srahi Silvers. The full stop is in the wrong place, bad grammar. A talented witch like you probably did something pretty impressive to get a spot in the Book of Admittance. Okay, wouldn't, Jacob tell that one story about how we made a teacup or maybe a teapot explode and we laughed so hard it brought a flower to life, which is my favorite one. You know what it was, the first bit of field magic you ever performed. Is it the laughing a flower back to life thing? Now that I mention it, I'm not quite clear on that. Thank you for your patience, students. As you all know, the Quill of Acceptance and Book of Admittance are nearly finished with their annual task. Why do we need to know this? They are recording names of magical children who will be invited to Hogwarts next year. When their work is done, we will be ready to begin preparing next year's Hogwarts Acceptance letters. Therefore, I am now accepting volunteers to help with this task. And let me guess, MC volunteered. I would normally volunteer just to see the process, but not today. Not today, I'm already annoyed with the concept of paperwork. All who participate will gain my personal thanks, but please, spots are limited. What am I supposed to do with the personal thanks? Pay me! If you want to learn more about how Hogwarts invites in new students, now's the chance, Rai Silvers. I would love to if I wasn't so annoyed with paperwork already. And like I said, I didn't even do 90% of the paperwork. I was just in the vicinity and I got annoyed just looking at it. How am I going to become an adult? I am an adult. How am I supposed to act like one? Sounds like volunteering to help with Hogwarts Acceptance letters may be worth checking out. You didn't have to do paperwork today. Ooh, Penny and Barnaby are helping as well. Okay, Penny can go sit down. Barnaby! I can't wait to learn more about Hogwarts since out acceptance. Yeah. Hello, Sarai. I trust you came to volunteer too. Tonks is helping. I knocked over a whole bunch of Princess Sprout's best spots and came here to hide. What's going on? Oh. Thank God. She would knock over all the letters as well. I'm surprised Barnaby wants to help too. There are more people here than I expected. Silvas, thank you for coming. Now let us begin. All of us here are about to embark on an exciting adventure. That's what maths teachers say when they want you to do a sum on the board to small kids. And we're turning 18. I think most of us are already 18 years old. As you know, I am deputy headmistress. Oh, are you? Oh, it only took me 7 years of my life here to figure that out. Oh, thank you for telling me. Be quiet. It is my duty to manage the process of preparing and delivering Hogwarts Acceptance letters every year. Yes, I know. Every time I open this game and I am greeted with the cutscene of you are invited to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and I panic because I think I lose my save file. But I will need the help of dedicated volunteers like you to ensure that there are no hiccups. We'll begin by outlining the process. Listen closely. I'm skipping over this conversation because I'm bored already. McGonagall keeps saying over and over again that you shall not be going near the Quill of Acceptance and the Book of Acceptance. How much money are we willing to bet that that's exactly what we're going to do and chaos will ensue? Let me see if I understand this right. This all starts when you transcribe the names of magical children from the Book of Admittance. Precisely, Miss Silvers. The children listed in the book have displayed enough magical talent to gain an invitation to Hogwarts. That new students are not the only ones who get a letter from Hogwarts prior to a new term. Oh yeah! Returning students get those too. List of supplies for the new year, right? Can any of you tell me what the returning students will find in their Hogwarts letters? school supply list. Every returning student gets a letter telling them what supplies they'll need for the next year's lessons. That is correct, Miss Silvers. Somehow I knew that because I wasn't paying attention. No, I was not paying attention and I knew that somehow. Both new and returning students must be properly equipped for the lessons to come. That's where volunteers like you come in. I don't understand. I don't think you have ever done this in your life of being a deputy headmistress and you're just doing this now because MC and companies still exist and are here. I'll send each of you to retrieve lists of needed spellbooks and supplies from every Hogwarts professor. They'll probably send me to Hogsmeade to buy books and stuff. And I keep thinking about the Hogsmeade from Hogwarts Legacy. Man, I miss Hogwarts Legacy. I haven't been able to play it lately. I think I said this in my Awakened video, but my computer can no longer run the game properly. And I'm not sure because if it's because of the one mod that I have installed or it's wrong with my computer. I don't know. After that, you will aid in the writing, packaging and delivery of the letters themselves. Each step of the process has its own fascinating adventure. Tell me which step do you find the most intriguing? Hey, which one involves the owls? I want the one with the, I suppose the supply lists are interesting. Gathering a list of spellbooks and supplies for next year's lesson sounds most interesting. New Hogwarts students will need to know which robes to buy, what sort of cauldron to bring, and much more. Harry once wanted to buy a gold cauldron. Hagrid stopped him, thank God. In addition, returning students will also require new spellbooks and supplies for their lessons in the next year. Typical school stuff. Our professors are preparing their list of required materials for next year's lessons as we speak, and we'll be the ones collecting them. Correct, you will split up and visit each professor in turn to collect their lists. Once gathered, their lists will go to Lucinda Thompsonical Pocus for an inspect. Who is this? Who is Lucinda Thompsonical Pocus? Hogwarts Chief Attendant of Witchcraft Provisions. What? You may remember seeing her signature on your own Hogwarts Acceptace letter. No, I do not. I never knew there was so much involved in sending out Hogwarts acceptance letters. It's not a small task, Miss Silvers, but with all of us working together, the process should not be difficult. It's going to be chaos because you've involved 18-year-olds for some reason. When will you be leaving to collect the names of the next year's new students from the Book of Admittance? Very soon, in fact, I will visit the small locked tower that contains the book and quill at the end of this meeting. I remind you, do not go into that room. We will go into that room. Can I come with you? I'm afraid you cannot, Miss Silvers, yeah. No student has ever entered the small locked tower, nor seen the book and quill inside. But please meet me in the corridor upon my return. I have a special request to make of you. Good God, like I said, I don't care how special of a student I am. Stop asking me to do things. I'm willing to bet money that at some point in their lives, the Hogwarts Legacy cast snuck into the small locked tower and just to look at the Book of Acceptance. They must have done it at some point. They love sneaking around places. Yes, specifically Sebastian. Professor McGonagall asked me to wait for her here. She said she had a request to make of me. I wonder what it could be. Oh, hi Dumbledore. What you doing? Miss Silvers, what a delight it is to find you here. Hello, Professor Dumbledore. I was just waiting for Professor McGonagall. She's visiting the small locked tower. Okay, stop calling it the small locked tower. It's a mouthful at this point. Look at the list of children who will be invited to Hogwarts next year. So you must be one of Minara's diligent volunteers. Some of our brightest students did much the same in their day. Oh, so this isn't the first time? Thank God, chalo. I'm just returning from the small locked tower myself. Really? What were you doing up there? Nothing significant. I occasionally spent some quiet hours up there trying to catch the book and quill in action. Okay, that's funny. Did you see anything? Unfortunately not. The Quill of Acceptance of Book of Admittance seemed to have completed their work. When Minerva discovered me up there, she promptly kicked me out. Dumbledore wishes he could be Clavel. Our deputy headmistress takes her duties regarding Hogwarts acceptance letters very seriously. For good reason. You don't take them seriously, I don't think. Okay, I joke. I'll say she was just explaining all the steps of the process. There's so much to do. I do appreciate her dedication and the dedication of helpful volunteers like you. Receiving an invitation to Hogwarts is one of the most impactful moments in the life of a young witch or wizard. It is important to get these sort of things right. Explain to me how they sent Harry like a bazillion letters. How many times did they duplicate Harry's letter? Professor McGonagall said she had a request for me. Do you know what it could be? I suspect you will find out soon enough. You must be curious about our school tuning process for selecting new students. I knew about the Book of Admittance and Quill of Acceptance already. Oh, I think I've been butchering their names. It's the Book of Admittance and the quill of acceptance. It's not both the same thing. But there's a lot I still don't know. The book and quill are so mysterious. No one seems to know how they work. If they hadn't chosen me, I would have never gotten my invitation to Hogwarts and met all of my friends. The book and quill are among Hogwarts' greatest mysteries. Child, they accepted your ancestor at like 15 years old. I'm pretty sure it's going to accept people into Hogwarts, regardless of their age, as soon as they show magical talent. One of them was 15. I can't articulate this enough. But I may be able to shed some light on how they work if you like. Certainly Minerva will have joined us by the time we're through. Oh, okay, sure, tell me, please do. Our deputy headmistress Rise as predicted. Hello, Professor McGonagall. Miss Silvers, thank you for waiting. Miss Silvers and I were just discussing the mysteries of the book and quill. I see. Well, let me interrupt. Please finish your discussion. So the quill of acceptance and the book of admittance work together. They certainly do, Miss Silvers. The quill of acceptance census every magical child in Britain and Ireland and tries to record their names. But the book is more selective and will snapshot if the child in question has not shown true magical abilities. Guys, what if the book runs out of paper one day? Then what happens? Apparently it hasn't run out in like thousands of years. I don't know why it would run out now. But how big is that book? How has it not run out of paper yet? In this way, the book and quill work together to ensure every Hogwarts student has genuine magical potential. And they do this by performing magic. Yes, any display of magic will do. Most children perform their first spell without even realizing it. But who made the book and quill, and what sort of magic was used to enchant them? Ancient magic. It has been said in Hogwarts Legacy that Hogwarts is built upon the foundations of ancient magic that the Legacy protagonist can just sort of harness for reasons unknown. The book and quill date back to the very founding of Hogwarts. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. The rest, as they say, is a mystery. Okay. But you aren't one to let a good mystery lie, are you? Unfortunately, no. Not usually. How do you feel about the prospect of not getting the answers to... not getting all the... I can live with it. Honestly, I can live with it. The book and quill don't seem to be hurting anyone. So this is not kind of mystery I need to know the answers to. It's awesome. If we were talking about a cursed world, it might be a different story. They're over, right? The cursed worlds are over, right? There are some things in this world that we will never truly understand. We should remain ever curious. Maintaining humility regarding the great mysteries of life is important as well. Dude, stop talking. I just want to know what McGonagall has in store for me. Some parents get quite upset when their children are not invited to Hogwarts. Where do those magical children that are not accepted into Hogwarts go? Do they go to another visiting school? Like, surely there must be magical children who need to learn their magic, but they cannot go to Hogwarts because they haven't shown true magical potential. They still have to go somewhere so that they can learn. When they continue to me with their grievances, I bemoan the mysteries of the book and quill as they are quelled. You must have displayed true magical talent as a child to earn your invitation. Do you recall what you did? I hope it is the laughing a flower back to life thing. That was adorable. I wish I could. I remember some things, but I'm not clear on when, where, or what my first display of magic was. I see. Well, I'll take heart, Miss Silvers. Well, some mysteries such as those of the book and quill may remain unexplained. The question of what you did to demonstrate your magical talent is one you can certainly answer. I hope so. Thanks, Professor Dumbledore. Please go away. I'm bored. I agree with the headmaster on this, Miss Silvers, and I encourage you to uncover the truth of your past. Do I have to? Understanding the roots of your magical aptitude will aid you in informing new students of their own. I'm not going to stay here. I'm not the new Dada teacher. I won't be for another year. Srai Silvers will not become the Dada teacher for Harry's first year. She did become a substitute teacher similar to Olivia in Harry's second year. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. What important role? Every year I select one of my most gifted students to serve as my eyes and ears. Oh my god. Why did I accept this? Why did I? This year I've chosen you. I'll be relying on you to ensure that everything goes smoothly. Dude, why? Why every time? Why is it always me? You can count on me, Professor. Oh my god, I hate this. Why did I say yes? Very good. I'll be in touch soon. God, so much work. In the meantime, I encourage you to try and uncover the secrets of your past. Perhaps a friend could help. You know who could actually help and just give me a straight answer of what my first spell was? Frickin' Jacob. Go ask him. Yeah, he's blind, but well, he can still remember things. Tulip and I were talking about this earlier. She may know something that could help me clarify my first spell. Please tell me. Please tell me it's the laughing a flower back to life. That was so cute. Hi, Sarai Silvers. Hi, Tulip. How you doing? Hey. So you volunteered to help Professor McGonagall with Hogwarts Acceptace letters. I didn't volunteer. The game forcibly volunteered me. I did. She even gave me a special role. Professor McGonagall's eyes and ears throughout the process. Ooh, Sarai Silvers, you are such a good student. I'd never be able to do that sort of thing. I wouldn't don't either, man. I'm disorganized as hell. I'm a scatterbrained little baby. I'm sure you'd manage if you wanted to. But there's something I keep thinking about. I'm still unclear on what my first use of magic was. Professor Dumbledore seems like to think I can figure it out. And Professor McGonagall even said it would make me a better volunteer. Did your brother never mention you using magic when you were younger? This is what I'm saying, just go ask Jacob. When Jacob was teaching me about wandless magic, he did mention that I exploded a teapot as a child. Yes, I knew it! I remembered that. My mom thought it was an accident, but then I exploded a vase too. What about the laughter flower back to life? That is the best one. Sounds like you were quite a handful. If we knew each other back then, I bet we would have been friends. Jacob also mentioned our laughing a flower back to life. That is the cutest one. I love that one so much. Oh, this is like one of those things that I want to consider canon from the game because it's so cute. Sarahi loves flowers and it is such a symbolic victory that Sarahi once was so happy. She laughed so hard that it made a dead flower come to life. That is so symbolic and so sweet. I love that. For those of you who don't remember, the most meaningful gift Sarahi gave to Rakepick was a golden flower. So it's very symbolic. By the way, yes, that golden flower also died. I mean, it was a plucked flower. It obviously died. And then it came back to life at one point when Sarahi laughed and Rakepick was in the vicinity. It is the cutest head. It was one of those cuter headcanons I have. Oh, that sounds promising. Could one of those incidents may have been the first time you used magic? I hope it is the flower one. I don't think so. If that was the case, Jacob would have told me. I think I need to keep searching. Oh, they're not the first one. Maybe I said fire to something and that was funny. I was wondering if you could tell me more about your first magical moment. Perhaps you could give me a clue to discovering my first display of magic. Hey, here's an idea. Ask your mother. Your father is dead and we don't care about him. Ask your mother. Child, where is your mother? I see. I'd love to help you, Sarahi Silvers, but is something wrong? You don't remember either, do you? I just think that I don't usually tell people the whole... It's just that I don't usually tell people the whole story. Okay, did you get into trouble or... No, I wouldn't care if that were the case. I suppose I might as well tell you everything. Friends can tell each other secrets after all. Yeah, sure, that'll be fun. Whatever secret it is, I'll keep it between us. I am surprisingly good at keeping secrets. Alright then, it happened one night after my parents came home from a long day at the ministry. Oh, come on! So Tulip was also a late bloomer apparently. Not as late as the legacy girly. Not at 15, but still a bit late. So your first spell was to come to your parents, imperturbable. I claim to be able to read English and then I can't read words. Imperturbable charm. I know, I don't care. I couldn't stand it in the left knee out of things, so I tried to eavesdrop on them from another room. A very Tulip Karasu thing to do. Naturally. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't make out my parents' conversation. It was like they were muffled. So what did you do? I just kept focusing on the sounds and then suddenly I could hear everything they were saying. You broke their spell. That's right, I must have cast a counter spell without even knowing it. Oh my god, that's awesome. What were your parents talking about? They were complaining about the ministry letting former Death Eaters back into the oh my god. Yeah, let's not talk about that. After the Wizarding Wall, many former Death Eaters were allowed back with barely a slap on the wrist. Why would they do that? We know about this already. Because they were rich and connected, my parents didn't like it and neither did I. I had a hard time trusting the ministry after that and most forms of authority, to be honest. Yeah, but still, that doesn't mean you support frickin' Peregrine. So that's how you became the Tulip Karasu, I know. I suppose so. But for the longest time, I couldn't use magic at all. I was worried I'd never be able to do it. Must have been hard. It was. Can imagine why I don't tell the story very often. I don't like admitting that I'm a late magical bloomer. At least you weren't as late as Sienna. She showed up at 15. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep joking about this today. Taking so long to demonstrate a magical ability is a little embarrassing. Nah, it's not. It's definitely not. I don't think you have anything to be embarrassed about, Tulip. You learned magic when it was right for you. Have an ancestor who got it at 15. The fact that it took you longer than some doesn't make you any less of a witch. I wish this applied to real life. Good God, I'm an idiot. Thanks, Sai Silvas. That makes you feel a bit better. I eventually learned that lots of witches and wizards didn't show their magical ability until later in their childhoods. For me, it wasn't until I was in a situation where I really wanted something that my magic family emerged. Perhaps it was the same for you. Your first use of magic might have been involved strong feelings too. I think the first use of magic for most kids is when there are strong feelings involved. Anger, love, happiness, etc. Any of those things. You may be right. That does sound rather familiar. Thanks, Tulip. This was helpful. If hearing my story was helpful, perhaps you should ask your other friends as well. Great idea. I'll probably meet lots of other students and professors as a help for the Hogwarts Acceptance letters. I want to hear Barnaby's. I care about no one else's but Barnaby's. Okay, I care about the others too, but I want to hear Barnaby's. Why is this one earphone off? I listened to their stories about the first time they used magic. Hopefully it will help me clarify my own. Earphone, get in. Tell me how it goes. I want to know what you find out. I will. Thanks, Philip. Bye. I should be going. Professor McGonagall will need my help for the Hogwarts Acceptace kiddos soon. I wonder who I should ask next about their first use of magic. Barnaby! 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 As you go around Hogwarts collecting lists of required materials for next year's lessons, you speak with your friends and professors about their first magical experiences in hopes that it will help you clarify your own magical origin story. Again, please, for the love of God, just go ask Jacob. Game crashed! Stupid game! I predict that the game will crash at least one more time before I am done with this TLSQ. Hi, Penny. Hi, Penny. You're here on behalf of Professor McGonagall, aren't you? Yeah, you guessed it. She asked me to come and check on you. Professor Snape hasn't produced his list of required materials for next year's potions lesson yet. He doesn't want to, does he? Does he know Harry's coming? I know. It should be around here somewhere. Professor? Do not disturb me. Sir, this is important. I'm in the middle of doing a complex and difficult potion. The slightest distraction could ruin days of work. He's busy. Can you come back later? I would, but Professor McGonagall really needs that list. Perhaps he can help Professor Snape complete his potion, then he'd be free to give you the list. Oh, here's another idea. Go to Professor McGonagall, tell him that Snape's being an ass, and then she can come. If it means I'll get the list faster, then I'll help however I can. Professor, if you insist on staying, you may help with ingredient preparation. Fair enough. But even the slightest error in measurement will result in severe consequences. Why do we put ourselves up to this? By that sound, I assume Marula is coming. Oh no, it's not Marula. Good, thank God. I heard that Professor McGonagall tapped you to be her lead volunteer. I can't read. To help with the Hogwarts Acceptance letters. I guess word travels fast. Well, I have a deal for these sort of things. I think you'll do great, Sarai. Thanks, Penny. It's so exciting to think about all the magical children out there whose lives are about to change forever. That reminds me, can I ask you about something? What do you need, Sarai? I've been trying to clarify the moment when I first used magic. Here's an idea. Child, go ask your mother. I want to ask my friends about their own first magical moments in the hopes that it will help. Of course, Sarai. I remember my first magical moment as clearly as if it were yesterday. I'll tell you all about it while we help Professor Snape. Let's just not make any errors in the potion or we will die. Your first magical memory was your gran helping you brew a potion. What magic did you do on that? Yeah, it's one of my fondest memories. Gran did most of the work, of course, but she let me perform the final potion, completing flourish myself. Speaking of which, let's finish this mixture. It's a key ingredient for Professor Snape's final potion. Okay, let's not mess this up. Where's my mouse? Whee! Whee! I think that's about all we can do to help Professor Snape. I'm sure he'll be finished soon. Thanks for telling me your story, Penny. Sharing your first magical moment with someone special to you must make for a happy memory. It does. I always think of my gran when I make potions. Gran is actually messed up. Huh? You know what? Penny's backstory has changed so much over the years that I legitimately no longer care about any twists or turns that it takes. After that first potion, I couldn't wait to get my Hogwarts Acceptance letter. I treasure the memories I share with my gran. Do you think your own first magical moment involved someone special to you? Probably Jacob. I don't know. You know, it might have. That sounds right somehow. But I think I've still got a ways to go before my first magical moment becomes clear to me. The potion is complete. Your help was adequate. Sir, Harry is coming in September. You're gonna wish we were back. Silver, here's your list of spell books and supplies for the next year's potion lessons as promised. Thank you. Professor, we were just talking about the special people in our lives. Did you have anyone special in your life when you were young who helped to develop your magical talent? Oh, Penny, you screwed up. You asked about Lily Potter. Oh no, now he's sad. There are many witches and wizards who had someone in the past who helped shape them. Oh no, we made him sad. We don't know. Such individuals can inspire their peers to grow, change, and strive to become a better version of themselves. The bonds one forms in one's youth are extremely powerful and extremely personal. That is all I will say. I don't know what this choice entails. I'm just taking it because it's smart. I agree, Professor. The bond I have with my brother Jacob is very important to me. Yeah, I think our memory involves Jacob somehow. I'm sure it is. It sounds like we all had a someone special in our past who helped inspire us. How sweet. Good luck learning the truth about your first magical moments, right? Thanks, Penny. I'll be visiting Professor Flitwick to get his list next. I wonder if he knows something that will help. Sorry we asked about Lily. You gotta get Harry in a couple months. You're gonna be more sad. and angry. Ooh, now we get Ben's first memory. That's gonna be so good because he's Muggleborn. It's gonna be surprising to everyone. Hello, Sarahi. Hi, Ben. Greetings, Miss Silvers. Mr. Copper and I have been expecting you. We are just finishing up my list of required spell books and materials for next year's charms lessons. Ooh, perfect, thanks. Actually, if you have a spare moment, there was something else I wanted to ask about. Intriguing, how can we help you? I've been trying to clarify the moment when I first used magic. Yes, you are experiencing this for the 4th time today. Asking others about their first magical experiences has been quite helpful so far. I see that is indeed a worthy endeavor. Everyone's magical origin is different and often reflects the sort of witch or wizard the person will become. Tell me, Mr. Rose, what sort of witch would you say you are now? Yay, it's Sarahi. She's playful. I would say I'm playful. I take my magic seriously, but sometimes I want to just have fun with it too. That sounds just like you, Mr. Rose. It does. Sarahi is a playful little baby. You may find that your first magical moment was one of fun and play as well. You think so? Perhaps, but remember that we are not defined by our past, but the actions we take in the present. If it will help, I could tell you about the first time I used magic, Sarahi. Well, sure. Please do then. Yours could be interesting. Then the first time I used magic, I was making a pot of tea. You charmed your mom's teapot to whistle your favorite song. Oh, that's so cute. It was rather delightful at first, but then it wouldn't stop. I tried everything I could, but nothing worked. I used muggle pot, so everybody was freaked out. I ended up burying my mom's teapot at the flower garden. It was all quite distressing at the time. You're not alone when it comes to magical memories that involve ruined teapots. I exploded one. My brother told me I once exploded a teapot with wandless magic when I was younger. So I'm not the only one. That makes you feel a bit better. That's so funny. Mr. Copper's story is not uncommon, especially with those born with no knowledge of magic. It's true, my parents and I didn't know what to make of the situation. But when my Hogwarts Acceptance letter came, it was delivered by a very kind witch. She sat us down and did her best to explain everything about magic and the wizarding world to us. I was a bit more scared of everything back then. I found the whole experience quite terrifying. I miss that Ben actually. I mean, I like the fact that he's not terrified of everything anymore. I just wish he wasn't as reckless either. When a child's magic first awakens, it often results in something unexpected and uncontrolled. Even children from visiting families are often caught off guard by their first spell. Magical children simply haven't learned how to control their powers. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Has anyone else here spoken of being embarrassed by their first magical moment? I'm not telling on too much. I'm not at liberty to say. But you'd be surprised by how many witches and wizards are embarrassed about their first magical moment. Is that so? I had no idea. I wonder if my own first use of magic was something unexpected and uncontrolled. Oh, definitely. If it was controlled, you would remember it. Knowing you, Miss Silvers, I'm certain it was something memorable. Something exploded probably. I am proud to know students like you and Mr. Copper at Hogwarts. You are a credit to the school. I wish you luck in your endeavour. I'm sure you will discover the truth soon enough. And lest I forget, here's the list of required spell books and materials for next year's charms classes. I don't think I'm reading well today. I'm sorry. I'm really sleepy right now. Thanks, Professor Flitwick. And thank you for sharing your story, Ben. Glad I could be of help, Sarahi. I better be going. I need to visit Professor Sprout in the greenhouse and get the next list of school supplies. Without looking at the screen, I assume that Tonks has knocked over something in the greenhouse. Greenhouse actually looks clean. Tonks hasn't broken anything. Surprisingly. I was so sure something would be broken. Hello, Professor Sprout. Miss Silvers, thank goodness you're here. Is something wrong? Nothing is broken and Tonks is here. And nothing is broken. Nothing to get too worked over. I've just misplaced it. Oh, that's it. Okay. I've just misplaced my list of required materials for the next year. It's around here somewhere. I just need to dig around for it. Okay. Who wants to bet that Tonks just buried it under a plant accidentally? What's Tonks up to? Oh, she took a bit of tumble earlier and knocked over some of my best spots. If you'd be willing to lend her a hand, I'd be free to find wherever I left that list. No problem, Professor. We'll have those plants potted in no time. Oh, it's just making up for breaking pots. Miss Silver's a lifesaver. Okay. I'ma just help. What's your Sarahi? Hi, Tonks. Are you okay? You look grumpy. I'm trapped. Mrs. Sprout said I can't leave it till I've helped repot all the plants I knocked over. How many plants did you knock over? I tried to hide in the Transfigurations classroom, but then I ended up as one of Professor Morgan's volunteers. Remember seeing you there? I'm helping with the Hogwarts Acceptance letters too. Oh, just my luck that Professor McGonagall asked me to help Professor Sprout with her list of lesson materials. I ended up right back where I started. Oh, Tonks, we love you in this household. oh boy, we're gonna be sad when she dies, because clearly that's where the game is going. Did you really knock over all of these spots? Are you a person or a tornado? No, there were far more than before I started. I must be the clumsiest witch at Hogwarts. Honestly, yes you are. Do you think I'm too clumsy, Sarai? Yes, work on that. I'm not gonna say that. No, you're not too clumsy, It's just who you kind of just are. The perfect amount of clumsy, and there's nothing wrong about you that needs to change. But yeah, maybe be a little more careful. That's sweet of you to say, Sarai. I love you. But I do wish I didn't create so many messes. Well, if we work together, I'm sure we can finish repotting these plants before long. In fact, it would give us a chance to talk. I was wondering if I could ask you something. Ask me anything, Sarai, I could use a diversion. Alright, tell me about your first magical memory or something. I am done reading this line over and over again. That sounds like easy enough. I'll tell you what I know. Just tell me your... You transformed your appearance on the day you were born. Jesus! That is early. Yeah, but it was quite confusing to the hospital nurses. When my mom realized I was a metamorphosis, she knew I was magical. Your first magical experience sounds a bit like a first prank. Oh my god! Oh, you're right, I suppose I've been pranking ever since. Since I was only an infant when it happened, I have no memory of it. But my mom tells the story all the time. Nice. I wonder if it was the same with me. Would I have been too young to remember my first magical moment? I probably was, because if I were older, I'd probably remember it. Like, I can't remember much that before I was like 6 years old, but after that, I remember most things that happened. Just none of them were particularly significant for me to talk about. That could be the case, Sarai. I think your story has hit on something important, Tonks. I may have been very young when I first used magic, but the memory could still be somewhere inside. Dude, I'm gonna get back to this argument. For the love of God, child, ask your mother. Or can we just confirm that Hogwarts Legacy's MC's mother has just disowned them or something? If I could just find a way to unlock it, I could learn the truth of my first magical moment. Or the other option is just, for the love of God, go ask Jacob. I've got the rest. It was buried in one of my... I know it! I don't think Tom's buried it in there, but it was still buried. This game is so predictable. Thanks, Professor. While I was digging around, I overheard your conversation about magical memories. It's always a joy to learn about how different people discovered magic for the first time. Do you have any advice on how to help unlock my memory, Professor Sprout? It's not a secret ingredient. I don't care. Why am I think you already well on your way, Miss Silvers. But I will say this. Magical people are not unlike magical plants. Okay. Some bloom early in the season, others take a bit more time, and everyone is different. But they're all beautiful once they come into their own. That's a nice thought, Professor. Watching students like you grow into capable adults is one of the great pleasures of being a Hogwarts professor. Oh. Now, who wants to stand like Boober past with me? No? I really must be going. I need to hand over these lesson supply lists to Professor McGonagall. Very well, I guess it's just you and me, Miss Tonks. Brilliant. She is very happy about this. Bye, Tonks. Bye, Professor. Okay. Barnaby. Please. No, it's Andre. Barnaby better be the last one. But he better be here. And as is tradition for every video I make on Hogwarts Mystery, there is a mosquito irritating me. I already killed 2 today, by the way. Just in the last hour. I'm playing without music now. My earphones are off. I don't feel like listening to the same repetitive music again. And I'm surprised it took me 4 years to finally get so bored of the background music in Hogwarts Mystery that I just don't want to listen to it anymore. Then I would rather play in silence. Sarahi, you made it! Hello, Andre. Are you helping Professor McGonagall with the Hogwarts Acceptace studies too? I am. You were just looking over the list of required materials for next year's lessons we've collected so far. At what point do I get to know Barnaby's? Now that you're here, we should have everything we need. Here are the supply lists you asked for, Professor McGonagall. I better get to know Barnaby's story before this quest is over, or I'll be so mad. I will instantly give this quest a 0 out of 10 if I don't get Barnaby's. Hell, I'll give it a negative 1 out of 10 if I don't get to know Barnaby's. I will bring these lists to Lucinda from Sonical Focus for her inspection and signature. She is the chief attendant of witchcraft provisions for Hogwarts, right? I remember you explained. Yes, you don't have to say this again. It was in this very same TLSQ. That is correct. I see you were paying attention. I was just reading. We are nearly ready to begin the next stage of the Hogwarts Acceptace title process. But first, tell me, how are you finding your duties as volunteer so far? Enlightening at best. I find them to be quite enlightening. I'm learning how Hogwarts works and behind the scenes and getting to know my friends and professors better. I wish I could know how this game is made behind the scenes. And who does the story writing And why is it such a dumpster fire? This is what I want to know. I had hoped that this would be an educational experience from you. I am glad this is the case. Understanding the origin of your magical abilities can only aid in your duties as my lead volunteer. Have you learned anything that could help you shed light on this moment from your past? I've been asking my friends about their first experiences with magic and I've learned quite a lot. Some of the things they've said have rung a bell. Not enough bells, unfortunately. I can tell you my first magical moments, Rahi. Go ahead, I'd love to know yours. I'm sure that would be most helpful, Mr. Ego. But first, I would love to hear more about what Miss Silver has discovered so far, and just tell me your thing. That will help focus our observations and advice to be the most useful to Miss Silver. I'll tell you all about what I've learned. I am bored, please stop talking. Thank you. It seems your volunteer duties visiting professors have yielded results in more ways than one. Also, you've been quite busy, Sarahi. Some of what I've learned from my friends' first magical experiences has felt familiar. I think I was feeling a strong emotion when I first used magic, and it may have included someone special to me. Likely Jacob, since that is apparently the only family you have. If you say Peregrine, I will delete this game. It probably happened when I was very young, so I'm hoping to unlock that memory somehow. It is true that many children use magic for the first time and they're too young to remember it properly. I was no different. My mother told me that I was an infant and performed all sorts of mischievous magic. That's so cute. What sort of mischievous magic? Oh, nothing special. Summoning toys from high shelves, calling father's bagpipes to play from another room. So cute. That is so cute. Okay. Apparently, I was even able to get the family cat to do my bidding. Dear God, no wonder you're a cat animal. With me chuckling happening all the while, according to my mother Isobel. You did all of that when you were a little baby. Of course, Mr. Ego. Such things are hardly uncommon. If you say so. My first magical moment may not be as impressive as Professor McGonagall's, but I'll gladly tell you about it. Please do, Andre. I was just a few years out of nursery school. My family was preparing for a trip to the park. I remember looking in the mirror, picking out the perfect outfit for a trip. Let me guess, something did not match and you willed your outfit to change color or something. Even as a child, you wanted to look your best. To go to the park? I go to the park in my pajamas. Quite right. I was trying on hats and I liked the style of on the beanie I had chosen, but not the material. Cotton? Boring. I wanted something better. Started to imagine my hat in luxurious cashmere and before I knew it, my hat had Oh my God, Andre. That's an impressive transfiguration for someone so young, Mr. Ego. The spell didn't last long, but the memory stayed with me. You willed your hat to transform? That's awesome. Here's where things get interesting. For the longest time, I remembered the hat as a beanie. But when I last visited home, I checked. What did you find out? It turns out I remembered things wrong. The hat I had transfigured wasn't a beanie at all. It was a fedora. How could I have forgotten something like that? A fedora is far more stylish than a beanie. You do like fedoras. You transfigured a fedora to shoot fireworks. That was fun. Of course, I couldn't have done without your help. Yes. But the memorable transfiguration, to be sure. My point being, it wasn't until I found the object itself that I learned the truth about my memory. Perhaps there is an item from your past that could help you in a similar way, Sarai. Again, child, I beg thee. Go to Jacob. An item from my past. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you both so much. I appreciated hearing the stories. But luck be servers, I'm certain you'll discover the truth before long. Please, for the love of God, give me Barnaby's story or I'll be very sad. In the meantime, there is much to do regarding the Hogwarts acceptance process. There are letters to be written and a Hogwarts owl to be exercised and prepared for the journeys. Owls. Okay, when there's creatures, there's a Barnaby. It has to be Barnaby next, right? I'll also be sending you to Diagon Alley with Hagrid later to check in with the local shops. Sounds like I'll be quite busy. Precisely. I suggest you grab a bite to eat now while you can. Eat a lunch. Please, Barnaby. There's much to do in preparing next year's Hogwarts acceptance letters and you're closer than ever to rediscovering your first magical memory. My throat hurts. At lunchtime! There's got to be some way to unlock my first magical memory, but how? Here's a very new and original idea that I certainly haven't repeated before. Go ask Jacob. I'll need to act quickly if I want to solve this before Hogwarts acceptance letters go out. Why do you have to solve this before Hogwarts acceptance letters go out? Also, focus on your sandwich and eat it. Oh, hi, Marula. God forbid I see Barnaby. Hello, Silvers. Saw the gloomy look on your face from across the hall and could tell you were wigging out about something. So spit it out. What's got you in trouble? Okay, this is like end of year 7 Sarai, right? At this point, she's still really mad at Marula. So, why do you care? Because your sour expression is making me lose my appetite, that's why. So what is it this time? Is there a dragon loose in the castle and you haven't been able to duel it yet? That's actually pretty spot on. If there was a dragon in the castle and Sarai wasn't allowed to pet it, that would make her grumpy. No, it's something like that. It was the first time I used magic. I want to remember what it was. I know it's locked away somewhere in my head and I can't seem to recall it. I've been asking my friends about their own first magical moments in hopes that it will shake something loose. I remember the first time I used magic, it left quite an impression on everyone involved. Is that so? Of course, almost 7 years, Gurula. 7 years and you're still on about that. It's only natural for my origin story to be something impressive. Alright then, let's hear it. Tell me about the first time you used magic. Let's see how impressive it is. Not so fast, why did I tell you anything, Silvers? You're the one who brought it up. Perhaps I don't want to convince her. I really just don't care. I want Barnaby. Why couldn't he join me for lunch? I've nearly finished my lunch. B.S. You have 2 sandwiches uneaten and I do not accept wastage of food in this household. Honestly, if I were in this position and I had to convince Marula to tell me her story, I wouldn't even try to convince her. I would straight up just go, "Bato batao meri bala se, mujhe kya hai?" Alright, Silvers, you've convinced me. I'll tell you the first my first magical magic came to me early in childhood as it is. I see, and you remember it well. Of course, I remember it the moment clearly. Setting fire to the living room leaves quite an impression after all. Good God! Your first magical moment was setting a fire. Honestly, I kind of assumed that would be my magical moment too. Setting something on fire. In my headcanons, actually, Sienna's first magical moment is in fact setting stuff on fire. It wasn't an uncontrolled fire. She was mad, yelled at someone, and suddenly the candles were lit. That is in my headcanon Sienna's first magical moment. Is that so surprising? I suppose not. You've always been destructive and awful. I was extremely angry about something. The next thing I knew, flames were all around me. I learned that someone's first magical moment can be motivated by strong emotions. As soon as I smelled the smoke, my parents rushed in and put the fire out. Was everyone alright? Everything was fine except the living room rug that had to be replaced. My parents were quite angry about the fire, but I could tell that they were impressed by the heat of my No, they were just mad. That's my story. Is that impressive enough for you, Silvers? Quite impressive, actually. Yeah. Kind of expected that from me. I'd say your story was quite impressive, Murula. Thank you. Good, now be sure to spread the word so everyone knows how powerful I am. No thanks. To this day, every time I smell something burning, I can't help but think of that first spell of mine. The smell of fire triggers your memory like clockwork. The sense of the smell is closely connected to memory, you know. That's actually a really good point. I suppose that's something you could keep in mind to recall your own first magical moment. I hope it was flower. Thanks, Muna. That's actually quite helpful. I'm sure you'll get to the bottom of things sooner or later, Silvers. You're stubborn like that. I better get going. You as well as you, Professor Morgan, will have another task to you by now. You still haven't eaten your sandwiches. Don't waste the food. You better finish that food. You better finish your plate, young lady. I'm sure she does. Thanks again, Marula. I'll be going to I don't care where you're going. Just go. Barnaby! Jai! Finally! Kimmy! Hello there, Sarai. I'm so relieved he's here. Hello there, Sarai. Thanks for coming down. Hi, Hagrid. Hi, Barnaby. Sarai, isn't this amazing? The Hogwarts owls are out and ready for action. Yeah, cute owls and cute you are here. Our owls have got a long journey here. They'll be out delivering Hogwarts Acceptance letters to children all over Britain and Ireland soon enough. So before we let them go, we've got to make sure they're healthy and up for the trip. I see. And how do we do that, Hagrid? Easy, we just gotta fly them around a bit and see how they do. They're not gonna fly off, are they? We'll give them all a quick inspection too, just to make sure they're nice and healthy. Barnaby has already got a lay of land, so I'll let both of you get to work. I just have one question for you, Sarahi. Was it, Barnaby? Were you never going to ask me about my... Bro! I've been... Love. I've been trying to ask you about your first magical moment all freaking day. Please don't accuse me of something that the game won't let me do. Were you never going to ask me about my first magical moment? No. See, that's exactly what I'm here to ask. How did you know I was asking people about their first magical moments? Wait on me. It seems like you've just about all your friends at this point, except I wanted to ask you. You were the first person I wanted to ask. The stupid game won't let me, and then they're making me feel bad about it. Now I'm grumpy. I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me. You wouldn't forget about me, would you? No! How can we forget about the most iconic Slytherin in this game? I'm sorry, Liz and Marula. Barnaby is the most iconic Slytherin in this game. We do not care about Marula in this game. I would never forget about you, Barnaby. I love you too much. I've been asking for you for the last an hour and 20 minutes. Good, because I really want to tell you my story and I really want to know it. I really want to know it. I've been looking for you the last hour and 20 minutes. I want to know your story. I even had an idea that I could help you with your memory. See? Really? Where is it? It would make more sense after you hear my story. Alright. I can tell you do it while you work with the owls. Yay, gimme! After we're done with the energy section. Barnaby's first magical memory sounds like the most interesting one, and it's something that I would do as well. Your first spell was to magically summon a jar of biscuits. This is exactly something I would do if I had magic. I am constantly hungry. Yep, it was too high for me to reach, so I used magic without even thinking. There were plenty of biscuits to go around, so I shared the whole jar with the neighborhood squirrels. That is so cute. And you know what? This is a memory I have. Sneaking biscuits out from the stash we have and feeding it to dogs downstairs. This is a memory I have. I think I was like 7. I got yelled at later. Yes, I did. I was also put in time out, I remember. And my father stood with me in time out in support. Being who they were, I don't think my parents would have been impressed by my first spell. Eating biscuits, sharing with squirrels, not powerful or violent enough for their taste. I'm sorry, Barnaby, but it is so you. I love it. Not me, I never felt the need to tell them. I even forgot about the memory until recently. But then one day I was eating ginger newts in the courtyard and memory suddenly came back. Oh, interesting. What did you do to get your memory to return like that? That's just the thing, I did nothing at all. Sometimes when you're trying to remember something, it's better to think of something else entirely. He is not wrong, he's completely right about that. If you're trying to focus on something too much, it will probably not happen. The minute you stop focusing on it, it suddenly just happens. It's something I've experienced as well. Thinking too much can make it hard to think at all. I think that is why people around me tell me to stop thinking so much. I can't help it, I panic. So that's the idea you thought could help me. Exactly, instead of thinking really hard about your memory, try focusing on something else for a while. That might be just what you need to shake something loose. I love Barnaby so much. Yes, it's helpful. What do you think, Sra? Is my idea helpful? Yes, so helpful. Yes, I think that was helpful. I'll try to take your advice and focus on something else for a while. Alright, if you need any help not thinking about things, just ask. I'm the expert. I love you. And I need you in my life, Barnaby. I need to stop thinking about things. I've been so angry today, the entire day, because I was thinking too much. And I could not take a nap. I really wanted a nap. All of the owls have passed inspection in flying colors. They're ready for the journey ahead. Woo! Thanks for all your help. Couldn't have done it without you. No problem, Hagrid. Well, we'll be traveling Diagon Alley together before long. For now, Professor McGonagall says that Madam Pince needs your help in the library. They're writing and stamping all the Hogwarts Acceptace letters as we speak. I wonder when we get to see Harry Potter. Not in this TLSQ, obviously, but like when we're already an adult. I can say with certainty, at least, that this TLSQ will not be getting a -1 out of 10 because I definitely enjoyed learning Barnaby's story. In fact, I'm actually enjoying everybody's story. This might be a fairly normally rated TLSQ around like the 5 or 6 out of 10 mark as of now. Because it's pretty cute, gives us more lower brow friends. I really like that. Oh, hey Benny, you're here. This is fun, everyone is doing their part. Oh. At least we don't have to write these down by hand, thank God. There's several hundred letters done and a few hundred left to go. Good God. I'm Madam Pince. It's the first thing she's gonna say, shush. And if she does, then you have to give me $1. Okay, now I owe you guys $1. Thank you for coming, Miss Silvers. Welcome to the Hogwarts Acceptance Status Preparation Assembly Line. God. Wow! Oh, there's a lot more people here than I thought. Every other deputy headmistress composes a letter for every child who will be invited to Hogwarts. It is our task to duplicate her message accurately and address it to every eligible recipient in Britain and Ireland. But that's not all. Both new and returning students need updated lists of school supplies and spellbooks. Yes, I've heard this word like 10 million times in this quest. Can we get on with it? I have developed a system for writing, addressing and stamping letters as efficiently as possible. What is your impression of my system, Miss Silvers? I am eager for your thoughts. Good. It's reassuring. It's a relief to know that we won't have to write and prepare all of these letters by hand. Quite right, Miss Silvers. No risk will be harmed in the preparation of these Hogwarts Acceptance letters. Alright. You have a role to play in this process as well, Miss Silvers. Perhaps the most important one of all. Really? What role is that? Minerva has informed me of your special status as a lead volunteer. God, why did I get that status? Therefore, the task of inspecting Hogwarts Acceptance letters for new students should go to you. What do you mean by inspecting? These Hogwarts Acceptance letters are completed and ready for delivery. But before that, I need you to go over each one and make sure the names and addresses are all correct. What am I supposed to compare it to? That's a big responsibility. It certainly is, Miss Silvers. I cannot impress the importance of this task enough. Why would you give the most important task to the most scatterbrained 18-year-old in this entire school who can't even get her own list of toys right? Even one minor error could lead to a child not receiving the letter that could change their life. Then I'd best be careful. Don't worry, Madam Pince, I won't let you down. Cat's Rahi panicking about this. Draco Malfoy, I wonder if he's matured since we last met. Ooh, are we getting Harry's too? Hermione Granger, Ron Weasley. Wait, another Weasley? How many are there? Wow! We know Ron Weasley exists, we just never met him. We've been to the Burrow multiple times. Harry Potter? The Harry Potter? The boy who lived is coming to Hogwarts. Yes, we noticed. And this was not even going to be the only letter he gets, Sarai. He's going to get like 10 bazillion of them. And he'll only get to open one that Hagrid gives him because the Dursleys are asses. Oh, and by the way, Draco Malfoy has not matured since we last met. No, he has not. That's every Hogwarts acceptance letter inspected. It's fascinating to think about everything these letters will mean to the children who receive them. Draco Malfoy, Neville Longbottom, Hermione Granger, Ron Weasley and Harry Potter, of course. We are just taking all the names today. I wonder what sorts of adventures these do. Oh, you have no idea, child. They will surpass you in how many adventures they're gonna go for. And how much chaos their life is gonna be. If you thought your life was chaos, wait till Harry gets here. Do they have to deal with cursed wolves like me? Oh, worse. They'll have Voldemort. Like actual real Voldemort, not a freaking boggart. Will they explore new secret areas of Hogwarts? Like Jacob's secret room. Will anyone discover that place where Tulip and I... Wait, Jacob's secret room. We haven't been in that room for years. I genuinely don't remember the last time we went into that secret room of his. I think it was like early on in year 6, but that's it. Why didn't I think of it before? I should search Jacob's secret room for a clue to my first magical memory. Barnaby did say that taking my mind off things would be helpful. And as usual, he is right. Because contrary to popular belief, he's actually the wisest friend we have. I agreed with him and it seems I was right to do so. Barnaby's advice turned out to be helpful after all, but not in the way I expected. Hi, Barnaby. Well done, Miss Silvers. You made a very fine letter, Inspector. Thank God. I found very few errors, Madam Pince, and the ones I did were easy to remedy. Very good. Your help was most appreciated. I trust that the work wasn't too tedious, was it? I mean, it was about as tedious as you would expect this much work to be. It was about as tedious as I expected. But it helped me to take my mind off things, and a thought occurred to me that may not have otherwise. I can't read. A repetitive task gives the mind space to wander. I'm glad yours went to a place that was helpful to you. With the letters written, stamped and inspected, the Hogwarts acceptance process is nearly complete. Tell me how you duplicated Harry's letter like 10 million times to fill up an entire house. All the deputy headmistress has left for you is to accompany Hagrid to Diagon Alley. You'll check in with the local shops to verify that they all have all the necessary materials in stock. Thank you, Madam Pince. I can't wait. Hagrid does this usually. I'm going to search Jacob's room before leaving with Hagrid for Diagon Alley. It would be fast if I had some help and I just know who to ask. Barnaby. Oh, okay. Tulip. Okay, yes, Tulip, because we found the room with her. It's only fair. Actually, if I remember correctly, Marula and Tulip found Jacob's room before us. And then we dueled the key out of Marula. And when we became friends with Tulip, she gave us her key because it was a lock with 2 keyholes that they put on Jacob's room. And then we had both keys and then Jacob's room was basically ours. I'm surprised how many details I remember about like the early years of Hogwarts Mystery when the game was good. Ooh, Bill! Is that really what they look like? Incredible. What does what look like? We haven't seen Bill in so long. My dad has 5 of those at home. I've always wanted to see what those artifacts look like up close. What? What did Bill bring? What unsanctioned thing did he bring in here? I need to find Tulip so we can unlock Jacob's room together. Is she around here somewhere? Who is that? There's Tulip. What's she doing in this crowd? What's going on out here? What is that book and quill? Is that the quill of thingy? You'll all get a chance to look. Well, if it isn't Sir Isilvers, hi Bill! It's been a while since we saw you. Hi! What brings you back to Hogwarts? I've just come from Gringotts to speak with the professors both, especially Pernicious Cursed Treasure. I brought something else with me as well. I think you'll find that it is of interest to you. That the Quill of Acceptance and the Bull of Acceptance. Are those the Quill of Acceptance and the Book of Admittance? How did they get out here? Almost, Sarahi. At least this is the closest we'll ever get to them. These are highly detailed replicas. Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. Replicas? Where did you get them? That's what I think would be of interest to you. But first you have to check them out for yourself. We even got one of Hogwarts' foremost history experts here to share fascinating details. Corey Hayden. Hi, Corey. Boy, it's been a while since we've seen him too. Corey! Come on then, let's take a closer look at the book and quill replicas. They're just highly detailed replicas and they're enchanted, we get it. Thanks for showing these replicas to me, Impel. You haven't even heard the best parts, Sarahi. I heard you are Professor McGonagall's lead volunteer, helping prepare Hogwarts Acceptance letters this year. That's true, but what does that have to do with these replicas of the book and quill? These are special gifts from Professor McGonagall after I was a lead volunteer a few years ago. Oh, you didn't tell us that. Actually, I think I understand why you didn't tell us that. This was the same year when Drake Pick went ballistic. So you mean, if you see our volunteer duties to the end, you might get a pair of replicas just like these. Nice. Julia, I was just looking for you. I was just looking for you. You are? Yeah, I want to talk to you about something. I've been thinking more about the book and quill and something that doesn't feel right. What? What about the children rejected by the Book of Admittance? Aren't all those chosen by the quill magical? Why do we entrust our fate to a couple of magical artifacts anyway? Honestly, I've been wondering about that myself. What happens to the magical children that aren't accepted by the quill? I mean the book. I want to know your opinion, Sai Silvers. Is Hogwarts' system of choosing magical children really fair? Where is the I don't know option? I think it's a fair system. This is the way Hogwarts has worked for hundreds of years. It seems to work well enough. But what about the children rejected by the Book of Admittance? I don't know. Non-magical children can retain some of their parents' magic, enough to fool the quill of acceptance. But that residual magic eventually fades. That's why the book requires a child to demonstrate magical abilities. I suppose it would be a shame if a non-magical child came to Hogwarts just to realize they couldn't do magic. But I'm so suspicious about how they expected to trust two magical artifacts we know basically nothing about. I don't know. Fair enough, I suppose there are some aspects of Hogwarts that we never truly understand. Again, let me just point out that Sienna got to Hogwarts after demonstrating magical ability at the age of 15. Fear or not, I'm thankful to have been accepted so I could meet friends like the two of you. Me too, Rai Silvers. Sorry, I glossed right over what you wanted to ask me earlier. I need you to help me search Jacob's room. I'm hoping there's a clue inside that could help unlock my first magical memory. Pretty intact fast. I don't have much time before I have to go to Diagon Alley with Hagrid. And what are we waiting for? Let's go! Go, I'm bored. Learn the truth about your magical origin story before the next year's Hogwarts acceptance letters are sent out. Lovely. Boy, we haven't been in here in years. The beginning of year 6 was so long ago, just 2020. Didn't Rowan die in February 2020? It was halfway through year 6 at that point. So yeah, it was even before 2020 last we came here. Because the last time we were in this room was the chapter just before Rowan died. Oh no, that wasn't halfway through year 6. That was around the beginning of year 6. Rowan died in year 6, chapter 18. The last time we were here was year 6, chapter 17 because we were in here with Ben. I remember all of this. We're in, and no Boggarts around to bother us this time either. That's a relief. Thanks for helping me, Tulip. Of course, I want to help you get to the bottom of your first magical moment. Can you tell me anything about what we're looking for? Honestly, I'm not sure. Hopefully there's a clue in here that could help unlock my memory. What unlocks magical memories? I don't know, man. Andre talked about an object from his past that helped him clarify his first magical moment. Penny's story made me realize that magical memories can be closely connected to friends and loved ones. And Marula mentioned that certain smells can trigger memories. Alright, so we're looking for a smelly object from a past that's connected to a loved one. Let's just say it's Jacob. We literally have no other loved ones. Peregrine doesn't count, and if you say Peregrine, I will delete you from existence, Rahi. It's obviously Jacob because our mother just straight up doesn't exist. I suppose it's really not much to go on. But if there's a clue to my first magical moment anywhere at Hogwarts, it would be here, where Jacob stored memories of his sibling. That's good enough for me, Slysilvers. Come on, let's get searching. I don't know what we're looking for either. I think there's something buried in this crate. Help me dig it out. I don't know what you people are looking for, but okay. Toadstool days. Okay. Okay. It's a book and it seems familiar. What is it, Slysilvers? It's an old copy of the Toadstool Tales. Aren't those extremely disgusting? Wait, I remember this book. It was one of my favorites when I was little. My dad used to... God damn it! Shut up about Peregrine! Your dad, do you think he's connected to your first magical memory? He better not be! I suppose it's possible, but we can't be sure until we take a closer look. It better not frickin' be. It better not be frickin' Peregrine. Just give me Jacob. Better not be freaking Peregrine. I'll be so mad if it's Peregrine. Oh, MC's reminiscing. That's cute. There's a message written on the title page. It's from Jacob, thank God. Congratulations, Rai. You got into Hogwarts. Oh, he was meant to gift this to us when we first got into Hogwarts. Oh, but he wasn't there when we got into Hogwarts. Oh. Now that you've received your acceptance letter, I want you to have this book as my gift to you. This way you'll always remember how your magical journey began. How your magical journey began? That could be referring to your first time you used magic. Okay, like I've been yelling for the last 1 hour and 40 minutes, for the love of all that is good and for the love of all that is holy, go ask Jacob. You're right, this might be the clue we needed to unlock my first magical memory. What else is there? Keep reading. You need your wits to thrive here, so I prepared a little puzzle for you. You can thank me later. I'm sure you'll find the words. Your loving brother, Jacob. Oh, that's cute. Just go ask him, please, please, please. This scavenger hunt is getting boring. A puzzle, huh? Way to make everything extra tricky, Jacob. Especially if you're a very scatterbrained little sister. I don't know why you do this. Notice I must have meant to give this to me as a gift after I received my Hogwarts acceptance letter. But he disappeared before he had the chance, what I said. I'm sure Jacob would be happy to know that you finally got his gift though. Yeah, I have to thank him in person when I get the chance. It even smells familiar. I'm not sure if this is the exact copy of Toadstool Tales we had at home, but it's definitely from the same era. This is amazing, Science. You finally found a smelly object from your past. How do you feel? I'm excited. This is so cute. This is honestly cute, except for the Peregrine part. I'm excited. You found an important clue and Jacob's even given us a puzzle to solve. If we can figure this out, we might be able to discover the truth of my first magical moment. Alright, get on with it. This is huge, Silvers. We're closer to solving this than ever. I'm interested. Like, it's been a bit of a chore getting here, but this is a little fun. So what's next? We gotta solve your brother's puzzle somehow. We need to hurry though. I'll be leaving with Hagrid for Diagon before long. Let's meet in the artifact room as soon as we can. We'll solve Jacob's puzzle and then find out the truth. Nice! As much as I yearn for Barnaby interaction in this game, I'm actually really glad it's Tulip with us through all this and not Penny. Anyone but Penny, please. And Marula. Penny and Marula, please no. No more Penny and Marula, I'm so sick of them. We don't have much time to solve my brother's puzzle before my trip to Diagon Alley. Okay, I don't know why there is this rule that you can't do this after you get back, but sure, I guess, to create a fake sense of urgency. Then let's get to it. The answer has to be somewhere in the book Jacob meant to give you. This old copy of the Toadstool Tales. Just bring back memories. I'm all but certain this book has something to do with the first time I used magic, but I'm just not sure what yet. Okay, it has to be about flowers, right? I don't know what's in the Toadstool Tales, but I've heard the Toadstool Tales are kind of disgusting. What if I try to spell like Parafage or Revelio or something? Sure, let's try Revelio. Revelio. Oh, what's like a CMC casting Revelio 10 times a minute? Maybe more. If this book is holding any magical secrets, Revelio should reveal its true nature. Alright, Revelio. Anything? Nothing. I don't think that revealed any secrets, right? So I think it's this book. You're right, I don't think we'll get our answers this way. If the answer isn't magical, perhaps there's a clue in Jacob's message. Can you read the last few lines again? You need your wits to thrive here, so I've prepared a little puzzle for you. You can thank me later, I'm sure you'll find the words. You know, something about the way he wrote find the words stand out to me. Yeah, it could be as simple as needing to find certain words in this book. Huh. Maybe he highlighted a few words to make a sentence or something. That's a common puzzle. Wait a minute. Some of the words in this book have tiny marks next to them. Yeah, like I said, not highlighted, but tiny marks, that counts. I think that's the answer, Sarai Silvers. Let's find all the marked words in your book and see if there's a message. Woo! We've deciphered Jacob's message, have we? I wasn't paying attention. Don't keep me in suspense, Sarai Silvers. Read it. Alright, what is it? Dear Pip, well done decoding this message. I knew you could do it. Okay? I'm so proud of you. I hope your years at Hogwarts are as exciting and special as they are for me. Aww, the years of Hogwarts are pretty exciting, Jacob. Sometimes too exciting. That's the problem. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Oh, sorry. Ever since you were a small child, I've known you were destined for Hogwarts. Aw, Jacob is so wholesome sometimes. When he tells us like stories, or when he like talks to his sibling like an actual human being. That spell you performed at Flourish and Blush when you were little was more than enough to convince me. Oh, now this copy of the Toadstool Tales helps you remember the moment you officially became a witch. Don't forget that magical talent is only the beginning. It's what you do with it that counts. Magic is powerful, but knowledge is even better. Your loving brother, Jacob. Aww. Wholesome boy. Wholesome bro. What a sweet message. Ah, that's nice. Your brother's plan to give you this book after you... Your brother's plan was to give you this book after you got your Hogwarts acceptance letter. He probably wanted to be with you when you deciphered his message or even help you through it. Yeah, it would have been nice to share that moment with him. That would be really wholesome. You got quite the brother's side, so it's not just any sibling would take so much care for their sister's sake. Oh, laugh, cry, sigh. I don't know. How am I supposed to do? I'm gonna be happy about this. Jacob is so ridiculous. We love him. We love him in this household, even if he's useless most of the time. Hopefully, we'll have a chance to sit and laugh about this together after some time. I hope you do, Sly Silvers. Jacob's message makes one thing clear. The first time I used magic was at Flourish and Blots. That's cool. The bookshop, huh? Wonder what it was you did there. Did I make books float? I wish I knew. This is all is feeling so familiar, but the memory hasn't unlocked yet. There's only one thing left to do, to go there with this book in hand and see if many memories resurface. You know what, this is actually very much in line with Sarai's canon. Except in my head canon, it was a Muggle library, not Flourish and Blots. I'm already going to Diagonally with Hagrid. Flourish and Blots is one of our scheduled stops. I'm not about to let you do this one alone, Silvers. I'm coming with you. Thanks, Philip. I appreciate that. We'll go to Flourish and Blots and finally unlock my first magical memory. Let's just go there with Hagrid too and to tag along. Hi, Hagrid. Thanks for coming with me, Sarai. We made it to our first stop, Flourish and Blots. I'm glad to help, Hagrid. And Philip, I don't know you were volunteering too, but it's been nice having you along. Yeah, I'm just lending my support. We've got to make sure this shop has all the needed spell books for next year's student stock. I'll talk to Madam Villanelle about upcoming orders. The two of you should go check out the selection. Take all the time you need, especially if there's a certain magical memory you're trying to recollect while you're here. Hagrid, you know about that? We were talking about it in front of Hagrid with Barnaby. Of course he knows. Everyone knows that you've been talking about it for days. This is over the course of a few days, thank God. So we were all doing this one day. Go on now and good luck. I'll wait for you. Thanks, Hagrid. Alright, we're here. What's next? Let's start with checking over the selection of spellbooks here, like Hagrid said. What about your memory? That can come after. Responsibilities first. Everyone's counting on us to make sure the spellbooks are needed for next year's lessons are in stock. And I wouldn't want to disappoint Professor McGonagall. I'm a lead volunteer after all. You're so dedicated, Sally Silvers. I can see how Professor McGonagall chose you. She chose you books of Plot Arbor, Tulip. There is no other reason. Thanks. I want to recall my first magical moment too, but first we have a job to do. The sooner we finish, the sooner we can try to unlock my memory. Okay, now get on with the work. Alright, we checked over the section of spellbooks Flourish and Blots has in stock. It looks like next year's students won't have trouble finding their spellbooks they need for their lessons. And it'll show Hagrid our findings later. For now, we have a memory to unlock. Alright, we're ready to unlock a memory. Woo. Quick question before we start. How exactly does one unlock a memory? I have no idea. Jacob said she's made it clear. The first time I used magic was here at Flourish and Blots. He meant to give me this copy of the Toadstool Tale so I could always remember that moment. I suppose I'll just sit here, read the book and bit and try to clear my mind. Let's start. Remember what you've learned so far too. Try to recall the emotions you were feeling at the time. Did you want something really badly? If Jacob was here for your first spell, he must have been involved. Try to figure out how he fits in. And don't forget what Bruna said about smells triggering memories. Sniff that book, Sarai Silvers. You probably threw up on it because you were a baby. I'm sorry, I had to make the joke. I know, I'll sniff the book. Sniff the book. I'll both sniff a book. Just relax and let your mind wander. I'll be right here the whole time. Thanks, Julep. Alright, here goes. Just gonna sit down and read a book. I think it's working. I'm starting to remember something. I came here with Jacob. He was buying spellbooks for his next year at Hogwarts. He must have been several years into his schooling by that point. Fascinating. What else do you remember? I had this book with me. I wanted Jacob to read it to me. Probably for like the 1000th time. But he was too preoccupied shopping for spellbooks. I felt ignored. Oh God. Attention seeker? Don't stop now, Sarai Silvers. I wanted to get his attention, so I used magic. What did you do? Brilliant. What did you do? What sort of magic did you perform? I brought my book to You know what? That's funny. Caused explosion. Dude, as much as I'd love to involve fire, let's not cause an explosion in a bookstore. It'd just make me sad. I guess I brought my book to life. I charmed my copy of the Toadstool Tales to flap around the room like a bird. Delightful. I can certainly see how a playful spell like that would catch your brother's attention. The memory is so clear to me now. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's cute. The bracelet isn't supposed to be there. That doesn't exist yet. Oh, that's cute. That is cute. That is so cute. be there, but that is so cute. I like that. That is so cute. Ah, love that cutscene. Jam City, can you do more cutscenes like this? Okay, this immediately elevates to a 7 out of 10 quest. This is a fun quest. I have misjudged this quest. This quest is good. It's not that long. It's very interesting, learning everyone's stories, and there was such a cute cutscene. It surpasses dating TLSQs, honestly. They could have changed Jacob's outfit though. Thanks for being here for me, Tulip. Also, he was always bald. No problem, sir, Ice Silvers. Let's get back to Hackett. We still have a few more shops to visit in Diagon Alley. Oh, I want to see the other cutscenes. Like, what have you picked? I made an explosion. Or I transferred his box or something of the art. I want to see those cutscenes. Small, needy sibling stories. I love them because they're so goddamn cute. Like, they're just like, hey, play with me. Play with me, big sibling. Play. I was like that with my cousin brother. Whatever your first spell was, I'm sure it suits you. I made a book fly. Well done recovering your first magical memories, Sarai. I want to tell you. That's so cute. Alright, I remembered your first magical memory. Yeah, I'm coming. Yay. Alright, tell everyone. Yeah. Sarai Silvas, thanks for coming. They'll be releasing the outfit of Hogwarts Acceptace letters any minute now. But first, everyone here wants to hear about your first magical memory. Yay. Thank you all so much. Without your help, I would never have learned the truth about the first time I used magic. By listening to your stories, I feel like I've gotten to know all of you that much better. Barnaby's was my favorite. Bottom line. Now it's time for me to return the favor. Here's the story of my first magical moment. Is an energy section or not? Nope. This really was a team effort. Every one of you helped me in a different way. Thanks to all of you, I know my Hogwarts journey, how my Hogwarts journey really began in the very first magical moment. And it never would have happened if I hadn't volunteered to help with this Hogwarts Acceptance letters thing. This you know what? I misjudged this quest. This is a good quest. This is a good one. It's very cute, very wholesome. Miss Silvers, I'm glad to find you here. In a few moments, Hogwarts Owls will be released to deliver the letters we worked so hard to prepare. But before they do, I have a few questions for you. First, I'm curious to learn about the nature of your first spell and whether it met your expectations. Professor Flitwick asked me what sort of witch I considered myself to be earlier. I told him I'm playful. I want to have fun with my magic. Then I learned the truth about my first magical moment. I charmed my favorite book to come to life and fly around the room like a bird. That certainly sounds like something a playful witch would do. What if I picked other options? Like, what if I picked the explosion? Because that one was funny. One's first magical moment says much about the sort of witch or wizard they may eventually become. What if I picked the explosion? I am glad you were able to learn this truth about your past. Thanks, Professor! Now my next question. The Hogwarts Acceptance letters possess... the Hogwarts Acceptance letter process is both incredible and mysterious. To be an effective lead volunteer, there is much one must learn and one must do. What did you find most rewarding? The knowledge you gained or the actions you performed? I think the knowledge I gained. I found the knowledge I gained to be the most rewarding. It is my wish that my volunteers expand their knowledge of Hogwarts and the wizarding world. And in your case, to expand knowledge of one's past as well. Aside from your own magical origin, what did you learn on this journey that fascinated you the most? Well, my friend's first magical moment. That was so cute. I was most fascinated by learning about my friend's first magical moments. Barnaby is my favorite. It helped me understand where they were coming from and how they became who they are today. The better we know about those close to us, the deeper our bonds become. Each of your friends had a unique magical experience in their childhoods. Now imagine all of the children who will receive a Hogwarts Acceptance letter this year. Everyone has their own magical origin story, one no less impactful than those of your friends. That's a lot to think about. Yes, that is the scale of your accomplishment with Hogwarts Acceptance letters. Thanks, Professor. That's awesome. It is you who deserves our thanks, Miss Silvers. You performed your duties as lead volunteer admirably in preparing this year's Hogwarts Acceptance letter. Thanks to your efforts, a new generation of children will receive the invitation to Hogwarts. I was happy to help. You know what? I am. I'm so sorry I misjudged this TLSQ. I'm so sorry I was whining about it in the beginning. This was a good TLSQ. Your contributions are appreciated and deserving of a reward. In recognition of your efforts, you will be receiving a replica of the Quill of Acceptance and the Book of Admittance. Keep it as a memento of this moment in your magical education and of the friends you've made at Hogwarts. I will, Professor, thank you. Now, I believe it is time for the owls to begin their journeys. Yeah! Woo! Yay! Harry's about to get his letter, boys. Kind of inspiring, isn't it? I wonder what sorts of memories all the new students will make when they come here. Good ones, I hope. I know one thing for sure. This moment right now is one I'll treasure forever. Yay! Oh, the also gonna get their letters. Like Ron and Hermione and Harry. And he's gonna get out like bazillion of them. I already said that. That was fun. This was a fun TLSQ. I can't believe I misjudged this one. I'm just so jaded by the fact that we get so many useless TLSQs that I forget about the ones that are actually good. Because at this point I assume that they're all going to be useless. But this one is just genuinely good. And McGonagall, please keep in mind that you will have to send a bazillion owls for Harry to get his letter. And then eventually he gets it from Hagrid. Because they moved to a lighthouse to escape the letters. I don't know the logic. Perfect time for the game to crash. Well, at least the quest is over, so I'm not going to start another recording. Like I said, I misjudged this TLSQ because I've been jaded by TLSQs. This quest was genuinely good. It actually wasn't that long. And even if the thing about volunteering for something like this is arbitrary to me personally, this was actually a really nice quest. I don't know how to rank this because this is one of those quests that I feel like deserves a 10 out of 10 for being wholesome. But it also wasn't perfect. There were parts of this quest that I didn't like. One of them being the game making me feel bad on purpose for putting Barnaby in so late. But you know what? This is a good TLSQ and I'm going to give it a high tier rating. It's a 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10. It's a genuinely good TLSQ. There's Barnaby in it. We get to know a lot of unique stories about our friends. Our own story is freaking adorable about us making a book fly. That's so cute. I love that memory. I genuinely enjoyed this TLSQ, would replay it. It is a good one. It is one of those rare good TLSQs. The last time I enjoyed a TLSQ this much was probably the Celestina Warbeck TLSQ in last August. This was a nice TLSQ. In fact, they should have just released this TLSQ for the Hogwarts Mysteries anniversary rather than the half-assed anniversary party. I hope you enjoyed this quest, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see all of you next week. Bye everyone, have a nice day!